Alright, welcome back to What If Vegeta Was Always Good. I'm enjoying this series, I hope you're enjoying it too. The last video did pretty well, so all that being said, let's get to it. It's only been a day since Granola turned on all of them, and Vegeta showed him the way, and showed him that they weren't the bad guys. As all that happened, now it was time for the Universe 6 and 7 tournament. Granola would participate, after they wished that Granola would no longer age, so he wouldn't really die, since he gave up all his years to get stronger. As all the Saiyans and everyone were ready, they went to the tournament. As they went there, Nappa was amazed to see Kappa without a tail. He asked did he cut it off, and he was confused. They both conversed history, and Kappa was disgusted to hear about what the Saiyans did. But Vegeta would look down and explain Kappa how he faked his death and their entire story. Well, as much as he could tell them, since they didn't have a lot of time. Kappa admired Vegeta. He seemed like a great, nice guy. And Vegeta seemed like a man who changed the outcome of his race and turned it from an evil conqueror race to a good guy race. And Kappa really respected that. Frost also respected that, or he at least pretended to. As all that was going on, eventually turn would begin, and the first match would be Nappa versus Butamu. Butamu would look at him and say, so you're saying we have those in our universe. I hear you're pretty strong. Strong or not, you don't stand a chance against me. He says, oh yeah, fat guy, what are you gonna do, squish me to death with your fat? Butamu would get angry at him and say, no, just try to punch me and you'll see. Nappa would then begin to punch Butamu's gut, as Butamu would simply look down at him and laugh. Don't you see now the power that I possessed? Why you can never defeat me? Why it's hopeless to even stand against me? Nappa then looked and said, so you're so fat you absorb all my punches. That's it? Butamu would say, what do you mean that's it? I am an unstoppable wall against you. Nothing can defeat me. Butamu would go on, as Nappa would get annoyed and just grab his feet and drag him off the stage, winning the match. The next match would be Nappa versus Frost. Frost would be introduced as a hero, and everyone quite liked Frost. Frost was a lot like Vegeta. He seemed nice, kind, and even though his race looked scary, he was a good guy. Vegeta really related to him. As Nappa got ready to fight, so did Frost, as they both started the battle. Nappa's really changed as a person. He started out as evil, just going along with Vegeta, trying to learn new techniques to defeat Frieza. But after Frieza was defeated, he liked the new him, and it took a long time, but he finally got used to himself. As Frost and Nappa fought, Nappa would look at him and say, I know you can transform. As Nappa looked at Frost, he said, just transform already. Frost would say, what? I know about your transformations. Let's make things interesting. As suddenly, Nappa would turn Super Saiyan. His eyebrows turned in yellow. This shocked Universe 6, but they didn't see much of a change physically since his eyebrows and goatee just turned yellow, but they did feel quite a bit of power coming off Nappa. The power was quite amazing. As that happened, Kappa would be confused. What was this new transformation? He's never seen anything like it. As Hit would look intrigued, Frost would simply sigh and transform to his final form, as both of them would begin to battle. Frost gave it everything he had, but he was still losing. Nappa was a very experienced fighter, and Frost couldn't keep up with his power or experience, so he was going to have to cheat. Suddenly, Nappa felt dizzy as he would fall to the floor and get knocked out. But then Granola would get up and just yell, he cheated. Champa and the rest of Universe 6 would get offended. Frost was a great guy. He would never cheat. However, as the judge wasn't examining him, he found something, a needle. It turns out Frost did cheat. Frost was disqualified. However, Nappa was passed out and the show must go on. So they decided to not have him be disqualified, but to have him go next after Vegeta. As Vegeta was in the ring, the next match would be Vegeta versus Kappa. Vegeta would walk up onto the ring. As Vegeta took a fighting stance, Kappa took a fighting stance too. Vegeta would look at Kappa and go, alright, turn Super Saiyan. Kappa would say, I can't. Vegeta would then sigh, but then he would smile. Alright, how about this? I'll take you to my world and train you. That way you can do everything I can do. Really? Yeah. Vegeta wanted to jump off the ring and go take him now, but he couldn't really do that because then Beerus and Whis probably wouldn't let him, since they need him to finish the tournament. But first, we gotta finish the tournament, Vegeta said. As Kaba would nod, Vegeta and Kaba would both fight each other, and Vegeta wouldn't go Super Saiyan to keep things fair. They would both had a fun and great match. Beerus would be a little annoyed if Vegeta wouldn't go Super Saiyan and just knock him off, but Vegeta wanted to enjoy it, and he wanted it to be fair for Kaba. Eventually, Kaba was defeated, however. As Kaba was defeated, the next match was Vegeta versus Vegeta. Vegeta was a giant metal man with many different techniques. Vegeta was excited to fight him. As Vegeta and Vegeta both began to battle each other, Vegeta would turn Super Saiyan, as Vegeta would look at him intrigued. Vegeta didn't like being insulted. Luckily, he was fighting Vegeta, a man who doesn't insult anyone, a man with the most kindest heart to ever live. Vegeta is one of the nicest, kindest guys, and Vegeta was lucky to be around him. Even as he battled Vegeta, he was polite. Vegeta liked Vegeta. In fact, everyone who met Vegeta liked him. And as the battle continued, Vegeta would shoot lava blast after lava blast. Vegeta would dodge it again and again and again, and even have a couple close calls, almost being knocked out of the ring. But he wasn't, as Vegeta would put all of his energy into a Kamehameha, blasting at Vegeta. Vegeta would shoot him with a mouth blast. The Kamehameha and mouth blast both hit each other, as Vegeta would push himself further and further and knock Vegeta off. He used quite a bit of stamina, so he's worried the fight hit. However, he still had enough for a new technique, an idea he was holding. The next match would be Vegeta versus Hit. As the match began, Vegeta and Hit would both battle each other, as Vegeta would go straight to blue, and Hit would hit him with a time skip. As he would be confused what happened, Granola would scream out, since he had good eyes, that Hit could skip time. Vegeta would hear this, as then he would block Hit's time skip, saying, "I can predict your moves." Hit was dumbfounded. No one predicted Hit like this. And as he kept time skipping, Vegeta kept blocking. Eventually, though, he increased his time skip. This put Vegeta on the back foot, as Vegeta would look at him and say, "Well, to be honest, I didn't want to try this. I've been trying to experiment with blue for quite a while now, but if I failed, that would be quite embarrassing. It could put a strain on my body, so much so, I might even die." Hit would look at him and say, "What are you talking about? I've been trying to evolve blue to a next stage, a new form of evolution." Vegeta would then begin to yell as the entire stage shook. As the stage continued to shake, Vegeta yelled louder and louder and louder as he began to tap deeper and deeper into his blue. Hit looked confused, and Champa said, "Knock him off now, Hit!" Hit thought about it. He could easily just knock him off as he's going to his final form. However, Vegeta was a nice and kind guy, and he rubbed off on Hit. Vegeta was a nice guy who fought and always loved a good fight. So, to honor Vegeta, he decided to let him transform, as suddenly Vegeta would push himself further and further and further till he achieved it. Blue evolution. "Do you think this will be enough?" Vegeta said, smirking. Hit says, "I don't know. I guess we'll find out." Vegeta's new speed and power was incredible. He was able to more easily keep up with Hit. However, as time passed, the stamina was building up against Vegeta. Vegeta couldn't keep this form forever, and he knew it. So he was going to do a massive Big Bang attack. He was going to put all of his energy into one attack to get Hit off the ring. As he began to charge more and more power into his fingertips, he began to charge a massive Big Bang. Big Bang attack! As it knocked Hit off the edge, Vegeta was victorious as he fell to the floor, collapsing. Vegeta did it. He defeated Hit and won for Universe 7. However, Universe 7 and 6 weren't the only ones watching that. We cut to Gowasu and Zamasu. Zamasu would be intrigued. How could a Saiyan, a mortal, be so strong? He would have to keep that in mind. It might help him in the future with a big plan, a big project in mind. And that is where we're going to leave things off. Hope you all enjoyed this video. I know I did. And yeah, what do you think about Vegeta? You like him? You don't like him? What is your opinion on Vegeta in the comments below? Let me know. And let me know if you'll have any new interesting ideas. Now, these ideas could be anything. An idea how to solve world hunger on a What If channel. Just go for it.